There comes a point in life when you must decide who holds the remote control of your emotions. Every person you meet, every comment you hear, every action you witness has the potential to either shape your peace or steal it. Yet true maturity is discovered when you learn that no one has the authority to disturb your inner calm unless you hand them the permission. Freedom from anger is not the absence of conflict, is the mastery of response. It is the discipline of choosing who you become in the midst of pressure, provocation, and misunderstanding. Anger is a reaction, but calmness is a decision. When you choose not to be bothered, you are not denying reality, you are declaring dominance over it. You are saying, I refuse to be a slave to another person's behavior. Because the truth is simple, you cannot control people, but you can absolutely control how you interpret and respond to them. Every time you remain composed, you are proving that your spirit is stronger than the noise around you. You overcome anger not by fighting it, but by elevating yourself above the level where it operates. Anger thrives where understanding is absent. It thrives where identity is weak. It thrives where ego is inflated. But when you know who you are, when you understand your purpose, and when your sense of value is rooted internally rather than externally, nothing anyone does can lower your atmosphere. Their words may be sharp, but your spirit remains untouchable. Their actions may be reckless, but your peace remains sealed. Their opinions may be loud, but your destiny speaks louder. Refusing to be bothered does not make you passive. It makes you powerful. It means you are too focused to be distracted, too driven to be derailed, too conscious of your assignment to waste emotional energy on temporary disruptions. You begin to see people differently, not as threats to your peace, but as tests of your self-control. And every test is an opportunity to reveal the strength within you. When someone tries to provoke you, pause and remember this. Their behavior is a reflection of their internal world, not yours. Do not make their chaos your burden. Do not adopt their frustration as your own. People carry battles you know nothing about, and sometimes their outbursts have nothing to do with you. The wise choose compassion over reaction, understanding over retaliation, and silence over unnecessary wars. Peace is not something you find, it is something you cultivate. It grows through patience, wisdom, and emotional discipline. It grows when you stop defending your ego and start protecting your future. It grows when you decide that your energy is too precious to waste on temporary irritation. When you master this, you become unshakable. You become the kind of person who walks into storms without trembling, who hears criticism without collapsing, and who encounters difficult people without losing your stability. To never get angry or bothered does not mean you never feel emotion. It means your emotions never rule you. They never dictate your reactions. They never rewrite your character. You stand firm, steady, and secure, rooted in purpose, guided by wisdom, shielded by peace. This is the highest form of emotional maturity. The ability to remain calm when others are chaotic, remain gentle when others are harsh, and to remain focused when others are attempting to distract you. When you master this way of living, you unlock a dimension of strength that most people never access. You become the guardian of your own peace, the architect of your own atmosphere, and the ruler of your own emotional kingdom. Guarding your inner world is one of the greatest responsibilities you will ever carry, because everything in your life rises and falls on the condition of your inner atmosphere. The greatest battles you will ever face are not fought with people, circumstances, or external forces. They are fought in the territory of your mind, your emotions, and your spirit. When your inner world is unprotected, anyone can enter it, influence it, and disturb it. But when you learn to guard it, you become unshakable, immovable, and deeply anchored in peace. Your inner world is the place where your thoughts are formed, your beliefs are shaped, and your responses are born. It is the control center of your decisions and the birthplace of your reaction. If anything in life is worth protecting, it is this sacred space. Too often, people allow their inner world to be invaded by negativity, fear, anger, and the opinions of others. They allow external noise to become internal conflict. They let someone else's bad day become their emotional burden. They let criticism rewrite their identity and offense poison their peace. This happens not because people are powerful, but because boundaries are weak. When you do not guard your inner world, you live at the mercy of whatever comes your way. To guard your inner world means to become selective. You cannot allow everyone access to your thoughts. You cannot allow every voice permission to shape your emotions. You cannot entertain every opinion, absorb every comment, or respond to every provocation. You must filter what enters your mind the same way a security system filters what enters a protected building. You don't open the door to everything. You open the door to what strengthens you, uplifts you, and aligns with your purpose. Life will always send situations that attempt to disrupt your inner stability. People may misunderstand you, disappoint you, or speak carelessly. Circumstances may arise that challenge your patience, test your character, or pull at your emotions. Guarding your inner world does not stop challenges from coming. It prevents challenges from controlling you. You cannot stop storms, but you can decide whether or not the storm enters you. Peace is not the absence of chaos. It is the refusal to allow chaos to take root inside you. When you guard your inner world, you begin to manage your reactions with wisdom instead of emotion. You understand that not every comment deserves a response, not every action needs retaliation, and not every conflict requires your engagement. You stop wasting energy on what doesn't grow you. You stop surrendering your peace to people who have not earned the right to influence your heart. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. Guarding your inner world also means protecting your identity. People will project their insecurities, frustrations, and misunderstandings onto you. If you are not anchored internally, their projection becomes your perception. But when you are grounded, you recognize their words for what they are, reflections of their inner world, not yours. This awareness releases you from unnecessary burdens and frees you to live with a quiet strength. It also means protecting your emotional energy. Every day you are presented with countless opportunities to be offended, irritated, or discouraged. But your emotional energy is too precious to waste on things that do not add value to your destiny. You must choose peace the way a warrior chooses armor. You must choose calmness the way a builder chooses tools. You must choose focus the way a traveler chooses direction. These choices are not made once, they are made daily, sometimes moment by moment. Ultimately, guarding your inner world is an act of discipline. It is the decision to prioritize your peace over your pride, your clarity over chaos, your purpose over distraction. When you live from this place, nothing and no one can shake you. You become a person who carries stability, who responds with wisdom, and who moves with unwavering strength. And when your inner world is guarded, your outer world begins to reflect the peace, clarity, and power that lives within you. Responding from purpose rather than emotion is one of the clearest signs of maturity and inner mastery. Every person faces moments when emotions run high, when words sting, when situations ignite irritation, disappointment, or frustration. But the difference between those who live reactionary lives and those who live intentional lives is simple. One is driven by impulse, the other by purpose. Emotion reacts instantly, purpose responds wisely. Emotion speaks without thinking, purpose speaks with clarity. Emotion seeks temporary relief, purpose seeks long-term impact. When you learn to respond from purpose, you elevate your life to a level where circumstances no longer dictate your character. Your emotions are real, but they are not meant to sit on the throne of your decisions. They are indicators, not leaders. They tell you how you feel in a moment, but they do not define who you are and who you are becoming. When emotion governs you, everything around you controls you. The tone of others controls you. Situations control you. Stress controls you. Disappointment controls you. But when purpose governs you, you control the atmosphere within you, and that atmosphere determines how you move, speak, choose, and respond. Purpose gives you perspective. It allows you to see beyond the moment, beyond the offense, beyond the emotional trigger. It reminds you of what truly matters. When you are anchored in purpose, you begin to realize that not every battle is worth fighting. Not every accusation needs defending, and not every provocation deserves a reaction. You stop allowing temporary moments to influence permanent decisions. You rise above the emotional noise and choose actions that align with your values, your vision, and your destiny. When you respond from emotion, you often regret what you say or do. Emotion speaks in exaggeration, fueled by the intensity of the moment. But when you respond from purpose, your words carry weight, intention, and strength. Purpose-driven responses build bridges instead of burning them. They bring clarity instead of confusion. They affirm who you are rather than reflecting the chaos around you. Emotion may feel powerful in the moment, but purpose is powerful in the long run. Responding from purpose also requires self-awareness. You must know what drives you, what you stand for, and where you are going. When you are disconnected from your purpose, everything becomes a trigger. But when you are aligned with your purpose, very little can disturb you. You begin to see that your reactions are a reflection of your inner world, not the outer event. You learn to pause before speaking, think before acting, and choose responses that protect your peace and advance your direction. There will always be people who irritate you, challenge you, or misunderstand you. There will always be circumstances that frustrate you or push your buttons. But responding based on emotion gives power to the problem, while responding based on purpose gives power to your destiny. You cannot afford to let a moment of anger destroy years of progress. You cannot allow a single emotional outburst to derail your path. You must decide that your purpose is too valuable to be compromised by temporary feelings. When you respond from purpose, you become stable. People cannot manipulate you because you are not swayed by emotional highs or lows. Circumstances cannot destabilize you because your reactions come from the strength of your principles, not the pressure of your feelings. You become someone who carries wisdom in every step, calm in every storm, and clarity in every conversation. Purpose-driven living is not emotionless, it is emotionally disciplined. It acknowledges feelings without surrendering to them. It recognizes pressure without collapsing under it. It sees the moment clearly, but chooses the response that aligns with long-term peace and success. In the end, responding from purpose is a daily choice. It is the decision to live intentionally, to value your destiny above your impulses, and to choose wisdom over reaction. When you make this your lifestyle, you transform not only how you respond to others, but how you experience life itself. You step into a realm where peace guides you, strength supports you, and purpose becomes the compass that leads your every step. Seeing people through understanding is one of the most liberating ways to move through life because it frees you from taking everything personally and reacting to everything emotionally. When you begin to perceive people not just through the lens of their behavior, but through the reality of their humanity, you unlock a level of compassion and wisdom that protects your peace and deepens your character. Understanding does not excuse wrong actions, but it gives you a higher vantage point, a perspective that allows you to navigate relationships, conflicts, and disappointments with maturity rather than frustration. Every person you meet is carrying a story you cannot see. They are shaped by experiences you were never present for. Their attitudes, reactions, fears, and even their harshness often come from places of pain, insecurity, or confusion. When you don't understand this, you interpret their behavior as a direct attack on you. But when you develop the ability to see people through understanding, you realize that much of what people express outwardly is an echo of what they battle inwardly. Suddenly, your heart softens, your reactions slow down. You stop allowing other people's dysfunctions to become your emotional burdens. Understanding teaches you that someone's anger may be rooted in years of unhealed wounds. Someone's coldness may be the shield they built to survive. Someone's arrogance may be a mask hiding deep insecurity. Someone's impatience may reflect inner turmoil. When you adopt this perspective, you no longer react with irritation, you respond with wisdom. You stop matching energy, instead you elevate the atmosphere with patience and emotional intelligence. To see people through understanding is to step into their shoes without losing your balance. It is the ability to acknowledge the pain or immaturity behind their actions without letting it control you. Understanding makes you slow to judge and slow to react. It helps you separate the person from their behavior and the moment from the truth. It allows you to see beyond the surface and respond in ways that protect your peace and preserve your dignity. When you lack understanding, everything becomes personal. Every comment becomes an insult. Every disagreement becomes a threat. Every flaw in others becomes a reason to lose your calm. But understanding breaks that pattern. It teaches you that most of the storms people bring into your life were not created for you. They simply overflowed from what was already brewing inside them. Therefore, you learn not to absorb it. You learn not to mirror it. You learn not to carry it. Seeing people through understanding also requires humility. You must acknowledge that you too have moments when you are not your best, when your reactions are clouded by stress or exhaustion, when your responses are shaped by your own struggles. That same grace you need is the grace others often need. This humility helps you treat people with gentleness rather than harshness, with patience rather than judgment. Moreover, understanding does not mean allowing people to mistreat you. It means recognizing their limitations, so you know how to engage with them wisely. You learn who can be trusted, who needs distance, who requires patience, and who must be released. Understanding helps you love people without enabling them, forgive people without ignoring patterns, and set boundaries without carrying resentment. The more you understand people, the less power they have over your emotions. Their actions no longer shake you because you are no longer interpreting everything through the lens of offense. You are responding from a place of clarity, compassion, and strength. You do not get pulled into unnecessary conflicts or emotional traps. You walk through life with a calm spirit because you can discern the difference between a person's behavior and their deeper reality. Seeing people through understanding gives you emotional freedom. It transforms how you communicate, how you forgive, how you empathize, and how you protect your peace. It allows you to rise above reactions and operate from wisdom. And when you live this way, you become a source of stability in a world full of brokenness. You become someone who is not easily shaken, not easily offended, and not easily provoked. You move gracefully, speak wisely, and respond with the strength of someone who sees deeper than the moment in front of them. Protecting your focus is one of the most essential disciplines for anyone who desires to live a purposeful and impactful life. Focus is the steering wheel of your destiny. Wherever your attention goes, your life follows. You cannot expect clarity, growth, or progress if your mind is scattered, distracted, and constantly pulled in directions that do not align with your calling. Protecting your focus means choosing what deserves your attention and fiercely guarding that choice for anything that tries to weaken it. It is the art of keeping your eyes on what matters most, even when everything around you demands otherwise. Every day, life presents 1,000 invitations to distraction, conversations that drain you, environments that dull your vision, people who pull you into drama, and situations designed to steal your emotional and mental energy. If you do not intentionally protect your focus, these distractions will slowly consume your strength. You will find yourself tired, overwhelmed, and unproductive, not because you lack potential, but because small interruptions have eaten your time, attention, and creativity. Focus is fragile when unprotected, but unstoppable when guarded. Protecting your focus begins with clarity about your priorities. You must know what is worth your attention and what is not. When your purpose becomes clear, your focus becomes disciplined. You stop chasing every opportunity, responding to every message, or explaining yourself to every critic. You learn to say no without guilt, because you understand that every yes you give something unimportant is a no to your purpose. Protecting your focus means being intentional about where your mental energy goes, because your future depends on it. Another dimension of protecting your focus is guarding your emotional environment. Emotions are powerful. And if you allow yourself to be pulled into unnecessary conflicts, offenses, or drama, your focus will crumble. When you lose emotional control, you lose direction. That is why you cannot afford to let people provoke you or situations distract you. You must learn to stay calm, unmoved, and centered even when chaos surrounds you. Not every argument deserves your voice. Not every insult deserves a reaction. And not every distraction deserves acknowledgement. Silence is sometimes the greatest protector of your focus. Focus also requires you to manage your mental space. Your thoughts shape your direction, so you must filter what you entertain. Worry, comparison, fear, and overthinking are thieves of focus. They rob your mind of clarity and your spirit of confidence. Protecting your focus means refusing to dwell on thoughts that weaken you. It means replacing negativity with purpose, replacing doubt with action, and replacing confusion with intention. A disciplined mind produces a disciplined life. You must also protect your focus from the pressure of others. People will always have expectations, opinions, and demands. Some will try to rush you. Others will try to slow you down. And many will try to influence your direction based on their own insecurities or limited vision. But you cannot build your future on the approval of others. Protecting your focus means listening selectively, choosing whose voice matters, and refusing to be pulled off course by the noise of the crowd. Your destiny is too valuable to be managed by those who do not understand it. Focus is strengthened by routine and consistency. When you commit to daily habits that align with your goals, you create momentum that distractions cannot easily break. Protecting your focus means building systems that support your purpose, habits that sharpen your mind, environments that elevate your energy, and relationships that support your growth. Your focus is only as strong as the structure you place around it. Ultimately, protecting your focus is an expression of self-respect. It shows that you value your time, your vision, and your future. It shows that you refuse to live reactively and instead choose to live intentionally. When you protect your focus, you become unstoppable. You move with clarity, act with purpose, and progress with strength. You rise above distractions and walk with the confidence of someone who knows exactly where they are going. And in a world full of noise, the person who protects their focus becomes the person who accomplishes what others only dream about. Choosing calm as a lifestyle is one of the most powerful decisions you can make, because calmness is not simply a mood, it is a posture, a strategy, and a way of existing that elevates every area of your life. Calm is not the absence of pressure, conflict, or challenges. Calm is the mastery of your inner world in the midst of those realities. It is the quiet strength that keeps you stable while everything else is shifting. It is the steady voice within that reminds you who you are, what matters, and what deserves your energy. When calm becomes your lifestyle, you stop being tossed by emotions and start being guided by intention. A calm life begins with a calm mind. The mind is a battlefield where thoughts fight for dominance, where worry competes with faith, and where pressure tries to suffocate purpose. When your mind is unguarded, panic becomes your default response. But when you choose calm, you discipline your thoughts to align with strength rather than fear. You learn to pause before reacting, to breathe before speaking, to observe before judging. Calmness does not deny what is happening, it simply refuses to bow to it. It acknowledges the storm, but chooses not to let the storm enter the heart. Choosing calm as a lifestyle means refusing to be emotionally hijacked by the behavior of others. People will be unpredictable, inconsistent, sometimes disappointing, but you do not have to mirror their chaos. You can choose to remain centered even when others are losing composure. Calmness is the shield that protects you from being dragged into unnecessary battles. Not every argument requires your voice. Not every offense deserves your attention. Not every situation demands your reaction. When calm leads your choices, you discover the power of restraint, the value of silence, and the strength of self-control. Calmness is also a form of wisdom. When emotions are loud, wisdom becomes quiet. But when you cultivate calm, wisdom has room to guide you. Decisions made in frustration often bring regret, but decisions made in calmness bring clarity. Calm allows you to see solutions where agitation sees problems. Calm opens your eyes to perspectives that anger blinds you from. Calm gives you space to evaluate, reflect, and act with intention instead of impulse. This is why calm people are often strong leaders. They do not collapse under pressure, they think through it. A calm lifestyle also affects your relationships. When you live in calmness, you become a safe space for others. You communicate clearly, listen intentionally, and respond thoughtfully. You stop escalating conflict and instead bring peace to it. You become someone who diffuses tension instead of amplifying it. Calmness helps you understand others, forgive more easily, and connect more deeply. People trust calm spirits because they know they will not be harmed by unpredictability or emotional swings. To choose calm as a lifestyle, you must also be intentional about your environment. Chaos breeds chaos. If you surround yourself with drama, negativity, or constant noise, calmness becomes difficult. Protecting your peace means distancing yourself from environments and people that thrive on conflict. It means choosing habits that nourish your mind, quiet moments, reflection, meaningful conversations, and spaces that encourage stillness. Calm is cultivated through discipline, not accident. Choosing calm also means accepting that not everything requires your control. Much of anxiety comes from trying to manage things that are not yours to manage. Calmness teaches surrender, not the type that gives up, but the type that understands. The difference between what can be changed and what must be released. When you release what is beyond your power, you reclaim the power you do have. The power to respond wisely, live peacefully, and move forward with confidence. Ultimately, calm as a lifestyle is the fruit of inner strength. It is the quiet confidence that your identity is rooted, your purpose is steady, and your peace is protected. When calm becomes your way of living, you no longer react to life, you navigate it. You no longer fear storms, you withstand them. You no longer chase validation, you walk in stability. Calmness becomes your armor, your guide, and your advantage. And in a world filled with noise, the calm soul becomes the strongest soul.